Welcome back to the Scarlet Faithful podcast. I'm Aaron Brightman and privileged today to welcome in Rutgers field hockey head coach Meredith Civico. Full on in training camp right now. The season starts on Friday, August 25th on a West Coast road trip. Coach, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Aaron.
So I know you've had a busy off season. You had an overseas trip to the Netherlands and Belgium. Just talk about everything that kind of transpired since the end of last season and how the program's developed and how that overseas trip went.
Yeah, I think we had an amazing off season with this group. I think last season we were a very young team. Not a ton of experience. And we played one of the top schedules in the country. We always like to do that. We want to challenge ourselves, and I think that experience for this group, really showed in the off season. They, we have a really, we have a strong group, with a desire to win and to compete. So I think that started really in our off season. We had an indoor segment with this group. We play about 7 weeks of indoor hockey in the winter, capping off with a tournament, the Big Apple Invitational, which was really competitive. And our team ended up in the final, which was amazing. And it was just an amazing opportunity to compete, in a final and have that experience. I think that really set us up going into our outdoor segment. And then to be able to have this international trip. So we worked with ZAG Field Hockey Tours, who were able to set up this amazing international overseas trip for us. We were able to come in and have 10 days together prior to the trip as well. So we were able to bring in most of our new players and train together on campus to prepare. And then we were able to have all but one of our incoming players join us on the tour. Our one player who couldn't was still finishing up school, so wasn't able to come. But to be able to have that experience, traveling together, seeing the sights of Holland and Belgium together, and then the hockey we were able to watch and play over there, I think just really set us up to come into this preseason ahead of the game and really prepared. And we were able to really get to know the players, see what our, strengths were, see where the areas we needed to, continue to grow and improve. So that was just such a cool experience to have together.
And talking about the team, bonding and getting stronger together, I did think last year, even though you weren't able to, accomplish your goal of making the NCAA tournament, the team did get straight, even after the kind of that tough beginning, you got better and better and tougher as the season went on. How valuable is that now springboarding into this season, kind of having that adversity and getting stronger from it and now having the off-season experience that you've had?
Yeah, I really credit the players and the program. In last season, every game we played, we just got better and better. And I think everybody was really disappointed, to kind of the way the season ended in the Big Ten tournament, because we were playing our best hockey, and our game against Northwestern was such a competitive game and overtime. And, we kind of walked off the field, and it was just, we were so disappointed because we couldn't continue to play together that season because it was clicking. We were ready. So I think they're really taking that into this season. They carried it with them through the spring. They were confident in, the hockey we were playing. They were excited about our potential. We really didn't lose many players from that group. So I think they were really excited about the potential of this year's team. So yeah, we really started where we left off too, which I think is really exciting.
Yeah, and I think not many people realize how tight the NCAA tournament field is with field hockey. You were right there, and I mean, you beat Northwestern, you lost to them in overtime, and they go to the national title game. Uh, and you even though you didn't get there, you were very close to 18 teams make the tournament. So, I guess my next question is just in terms of this offseason, having the overseas trip. Now you scheduled again, very challenging. You start on the West Coast, 3 games in a row, Cal, Stanford, UC Davis. How has that kind of fueled this team again, that you constantly are challenging them with difficult games, difficult trips right off the bat? And how do they learn from, maybe last season not being able to take advantage to be able to do that this season?
Yeah, I think they really last season showed them that every game counts and every game matters, especially obviously in the Big Ten, but the non-conference as well really sets us up. We build a schedule that if we win those games non-conference, we give ourselves, a really good chance to qualify for the NCAA tournament with our strength of schedule, and significant wins, if we perform and compete. And I think that that's when the team we put together the schedule and they see the schedule, they want to play the best teams. They want to be in a position um, ultimately to be competing in November, as far as we can go. So, yeah, I mean, the California schools and UC Davis has been improving and building. Stanford has, really, I think, has some really talented players, new coaching staff. They're going to be great competition. And Cal, we'll see, has picked up some transfers, and Cal Berkeley and Ben Tabakers, who we know from Northwestern's playing out there this season. So they're going to be a really competitive side. And I think just really will set us up, right away, testing ourselves. And, that's what we want. So
Hmm.
we're excited. And having, the travel out to California together before school starts. We're going to go to San Francisco. We're going to go to Alcatraz for one day, going to spend the day out there and spend some time together as a team. And that's always fun when you get off campus together. So we'll have that time, I think, which brings us closer together as a team as well.
And that's great. Talking about the roster, you do have a lot of big time contributors from last year: Andy Van Eck, Lucy Bannatyne, Marie Jedinet. How important are they to kind of take this team to the next level this year?
Very important, and I think, Marique has really stepped up, and she's just such a leader on and off the field with this group. She's a captain this season, and she's very driven. She really wants to perform for the team, and she's got a lot of individual goals, and is very motivated, which is amazing. Lucy, I think, is, she's has the ability to really impact the game, and we got to get her on the ball and get her attacking and going forward. um, and then Guillermina Casarano, who's a captain, as well, creative leader. She really is able to eliminate. Indy Van Eck actually had a surgery right before preseason, an emergency appendectomy. So she's recovering, and she should be back out training shortly. But she's just such a natural attacker and gives us a lot up front. And then Puck Winter, co-freshman of the year. She's just expecting, some big things from her this season. When she attacks, it just creates a lot for us. And of course, Iris,
Hmm.
who's just our engine. She's just so competitive, creates so much. So we've got a really strong group, Bridie Molyneux as well.
Hmm.
Just such a strong group of leaders on the team. Elise Pedisani as well, which is really exciting. So a great core and some really great newcomers that we're excited about.
And yeah, you added a couple of transfers that I wanted to ask you about. Ava Kinkiewicz from Wake Forest. Um, how how do you mix that in your rosters? I think one of the most interesting rosters at Rutgers, because you're like half New Jersey, half Europe. So how does that play into, and Ava Kinkiewicz you're bringing back from New Jersey, but how do you kind of mix that all together in terms of how you approach the roster, but also adding transfers into that kind of unique composition of your team?
Yeah, I mean, Ava's home here. It's just amazing to have her. I recruited her out of high school, and she was going through the recruiting process during COVID, so wasn't able to visit in person schools, and everything was on Zoom. And I think um, having her here, she's an amazing player. She's an amazing competitor, and she's just really has been such an amazing addition to the group, just really raising the level. She loves Rutgers. She's a Jersey girl. She's just really added so much to the team. So really excited to have Ava. And then Julianne Kopech, another New Jersey native. She's just such an athlete, also competitor, and I think those two just bring a lot of energy, and have really had a positive impact on the group so far.
And Sophia Howard had a big shoes to fill last year, replacing Gianna Glatz. She did a really good job. How has she grown as a goalkeeper, and kind of what's her ceiling this year in terms of being a net for you once again?
Yeah, I think um, she's an amazing leader. She's somebody that the team really looks to, and she's the anchor really of the group. Being in goal as well, but also off the field. She's really the one that's looking after the team, and I think that she has a lot of potential. I think she has the ability to really, and we're looking for her to really step up and play well this season. I think last season was really good experience for her. It was a young team in front of her, and she had a lot of work to do, and she gained a lot of experience and situational experience. And I think she's really taken that, and improved and is growing. So, we're really Maddie Sposito, who works primarily with our goalkeepers here, and her, they're really focusing on what she needs individually. Really, they work a lot together outside of the training group, which is great, and she's just really trying to hone her craft and play the best she can, and I think even she's got some individual goals as well, and that's important for us.
So obviously you've built the program you've come a long way over a decade now. The Big Ten just keeps getting better and better. How has it been for you, just to get the program to this level, but also to now deal with expectations, and after winning that Big Ten title 2 years ago, and now fighting to get back there, and not necessarily being the sole hunter anymore, and being considered one of the best teams in the best conference in the sport.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've gotten to where we are because we just have this kind of head down mentality. We try not to focus on anybody else or what's going on around us. We really just want to be the best we can be, and I think staying really hungry and staying humble and knowing that, I mean, the Big Ten is the most competitive conference in the country, and everybody is great, and every game that we play is you're going to get the best out of your opponent. You've got to deliver the best. So I think that's really our approach to it. We want to make sure just as every day we're getting better and we're focused on ourselves, and we try not to let all that get to us. We want to achieve big things, and we want to compete for championships, Big Ten championships and NCAA championships. But we know that we have to stick to the process and just stay on our path and not get too distracted by, the outside things. So I think that that's something this team, they really want to achieve something this season. And I think it's about doing all the little things every single day. And that's what we're really focused on right now.
And just in terms, a couple more for you, just in terms of your style of play, and players that you've brought in, not a huge freshman class, but who do you expect, either a newcomer in that class or someone that was a freshman last year rising up to a sophomore that might play a big role this year?
Yeah, I think I mentioned before, but Puck Winter, I think, is someone who can really, and a player who can really impact. She's got a whole nother level in her, that we're trying to encourage her to attack and create. She's so talented, and I think it's just that experience. She had a lot of experience last season, and it's just getting her to trust herself and her training, because she can really be threatening from the back. Olivia Beatty, who is a first year player, she's just really gritty, tough defender who's got a lot of speed as well. So she can eliminate, she can attack. I think she's going to add, something to the team for sure. The three, yeah, our three true freshmen, I think, are Olivia Fraticelli, another New Jersey native. She scored a lot of goals in high school, set records. She's just got just a natural instinct around the goal. And Abby Zucchini, another freshman, just coming in. Those three as true freshmen have really come in, and Abby's just so tough, and she's just a good defender with great vision and great instinct. So those three have come in and really impressed us. And I've been able, we really see those three being able to contribute. Paulina Nicholas, a transfer, she's played for the German under 21s. She has caps with the German national team, played for a top club. She's just come in, and she's just a really mature, really solid player, who I think is going to be able to control really our midfield and our backfield. So she's a really very talented player and great personality in the group. So we're excited about her. And of course our two transfers. So we have I think this new group is really going to have a positive impact on the team and have been just an amazing addition.
So last question for you, just in terms of what this team needs to do to be able to accomplish your goals, and to be able to have whatever your expectations are for this year.
I think just we've got to work really hard and take advantage of every opportunity we can. And I think we've been working a lot on just our mentality in front of the goal. I think that's a big focus, is scoring. We've got a few really natural goal scorers in the squad this year, and that was an area that last season we didn't feel like we reached our goal or our potential there. So it's been a big focus. But I think we've got to really work hard, train really hard, compete in everything we do, as hard as we can, and take advantage of every opportunity and take it one game at a time, and that's always our mentality, is one game at a time. We focus on us. We focus on the things that make us great. And I think if we can do that every day, in every training session and in every game, we'll end up where we want to be at the end of the season.
Rutgers field hockey head coach Meredith Civico, it's always great to speak with you, and wish you best of luck this season, and looking forward to covering your team.
Thank you so much, Aaron.